Hi all students. Let's start with the introduction for Vijay sir. So Vijay sir is second batch IIP alumni. So from 1986 to 1988, he have completed IIP for post graduation. So afterward, in very vast experience like First Industries, Kevin Medtech Private Limited, Vijani Exim Private Limited, Wacmet India, Gelpack India, then Hans Packaging, Sol Pharmaceutical, Raleigh Wolf Limited. These are some of the industries where we are. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, go ahead.
These are some of the organizations where Vijay sir have vast experience of career, particularly in expert in BOPP or BOP, CPP, LDP, the paper gravure and printing, coating, metallization. And Vijay sir has been part of governing body of IIP. Then also an NRC member of IIP Delhi, and lot of things to be discussed. This vast experience cannot be explained in minutes. Just to give one of the very important aspects, so I am actually cut shorting other detail. So Vijay sir have published articles. So let me show you my screen. Yes, please. Is my screen visible?
Yes, yes.
Vijay sir, Vijay sir has published a food safety and environmental concern article. So I would share with all you after the webinar. So you can the context how Walia said this, his comment over here, and this all the points in this are considered in making EPR guidelines. So if you compare this article with EPR guideline, almost all the things are itself matching. And the article date is June 2011. Means the future vision was like that. In 2011, whatever was published, almost all the points are considered and taken into EPR, which is applicable. So considering EPR, then circular economy and plastic waste and recycling, we just have very vast experience. And we want all you to get benefit of this.
Thank you, Ajay, Ayush, and everybody connected with this digital platform of learning, which is giving you all a great learning experience during COVID times. As Ajay mentioned, I am second batch alumni. I am extremely happy always to be with alumni and to be among alumni. I'm also alumni of some of the great institutions like Hansraj College, Narsim Monji Institute of Management Studies, IIFT, and IIM, Indian Institute of Material Management. It was mentioned that more than 30 years of experience in the various fields in pharmaceuticals, very strong, short stint, but my core competency area is polyester film metallizing coating, where I have worked for more than 25 years. So I know flexible packaging from very close quarters. I have had the experience of working with some of the major polyester film metallizing and coating companies. The flexible packaging, as you all are aware, that it constitutes majority of food and pharmaceutical packaging. It covers almost 60% of food and pharmaceutical packaging, where EPR and circular economy is most important because it is directly related to general consumers. After this 2010, I started my own company, my own startup venture, Vijani Exim Private Limited, where we were importing aluminum foil, polyester film, chemicals, paper from China, US, and Europe. And the company was also running a printing unit, gravure printing and lamination unit. So packaging, particularly printing and lamination, flexible packaging is known to me from hands-on experience. Why I'm telling you all that is that you must know what I have done, so that in future you have any requirement, you can get back to me. And after with this company, I'm also governing body member at IIP. I have been NRC member for a very long time of more than 15 years. So I personally feel more and more IIPians should come and start up their own venture where they sit in the driving seat and drive their own destiny. It is good time, or it is the best time to be in packaging industry and to be a packaging technologist from IIP, because after COVID, there is going to be a lot of changes in lifestyle changes, from health and hygiene changes. There will be concept of health and hygiene is going to change tremendously. It is going to be more and more contactless economy, where e-commerce, home delivery of packed food is going to play an important role. Ready to eat, packed food, stringent safety and other parameters will become very important. That is why it is going to be a huge challenge for packaging technologists, and therefore there will be huge opportunity for all of you. I can tell you from my experience. Today itself, I got a call from one of my friends who is working in hotel industry. He says, we want to start our buffet, but we want to have a portion pack thermoform biodegradable trays, so that we do not ask people to come and queue up in the serving bowl. And so looking at all these things, we feel there is going to be huge opportunity. There are a lot of companies from China who are going to come to India in time to come, which will again provide a lot of opportunity, because you recently must have read in newspaper that a company producing leather has migrated from China to Agra. So it will require a lot of packaging material in Agra, where demand for packaging material is going to increase, demand for packaging designer, packaging technologies is going to increase. The 2-3 years back, we were at IIP when we received a guest from France, DHL France. He had come with a delegation to India to find out what is the state of packaging industry in India, because that time India has signed a Rafale deal of 3.2 billion. Out of 3.2 billion, 1 billion parts were to be manufactured in India, which were supposed to be transported back to France to be reassembled. So he wanted to understand what is the status, because the spare parts of Rafale is very, very sophisticated, and you can imagine the cost of each spare part. He was just telling us, rough estimate, each spare part will be equivalent to the cost of gold. That is kind of cost he's talking. So the cost of packaging will also be very high, and design, and think of design and other parameters. So coming back to this EPR and circular economy part, you understand that plastic has become integral part of our day-to-day life. Right from morning, where we start with toothbrush, to the sleeping time, where we go sleep with mosquito repellent, we are witnessing the use of plastic. So the life without plastic is impossible. We cannot think of life without plastic. Globally, plastic and pollution has captured the imagination of people, business, and government because of global warming, climate change, and waste management, because you find a lot of plastic waste or packaging waste is littered around on streets and in ocean, where it is causing environmental pollution. So it has become a major challenge for everybody in society, and everybody has to find out a solution to this problem of plastic and pollution. We have broadly come to conclusion that there has to be a multi-pronged strategy to handle this plastic and pollution part. And the best strategy would be to recycle, to biodegradability, to circular economy. Otherwise, there will be more plastic in the ocean than fish in time to come. So people are afraid that there will be so much of plastic around that it will cover all the live animal. You have witnessed the example of cows and other eating plastic and getting their stomach damaged. We must have some proper waste management because there is a huge risk. There are many kinds of waste, like hazardous waste, non-hazardous waste, packaging waste, industrial waste, biomedical waste. So there has to be a proper segregation and proper handling is required of waste, so it does not cause harm to human and animal. Then coming to the third slide, are we there? Ajay, can we get on the third slide where we have some initiative of EPR? Yes, initiatives of EPR. There were many initiatives of EPR in US and Europe and many countries, but the most prominent were Ellen MacArthur Foundation brought together 11 leading brand owners committed to work towards 100% reusable, recyclable, or compostable plastic packaging by 2025. So what they brought together all the brand and took their commitment to go for reusable, recyclable, and compostable plastic packaging by 2025, which will have less detrimental effect on climate change and environment. Similarly, there was another organization called TerraCycle in US, which offers to recycle for free. And this program was funded by leading brands, manufacturers, and retailers. So the brand owners, manufacturers, and retailers funded the recycling setup, and TerraCycle used to collect all the waste, recycle, and reuse them. Similarly, in India, we have Government of India via CPCB, Central Pollution Control Board, has thrust the extended producers' responsibility on brand owners of plastic packaging to collect and take back the plastic or packaging and give it to recycler. So a lot of leading companies like Nestle, Reliance, and Dabur, and all these are now looking at how to collect the packaging after consumer use and give it to recycler, where it is recycled and reused. So it has a lot of challenges also, the EPR part, extended producers responsibility, has a lot of challenges because FMCG brands do not have reverse logistic. Reverse logistics, they only in India, they or in globally also, they are only have a distributor, retailer, and other areas. One-way logistic. They do not have reverse logistic where they can collect waste. So they have to find a mechanism where they are able to collect waste reversely. The other problem is multi-location. The brands are located at multiple locations and they're distributed across India or across globe. So it is not very easy to get the packaging or get back the packaging. So the multi-location pickup is not possible. The third challenge is diverse range of companies. Companies are of diverse range, and their products are also diverse. Their packaging are also diverse. They have tin packaging, they have PET bottle packaging, they have paperboard packaging. So it is very difficult to take back the packaging and handle them or give it to recyclers. Similarly, there are challenges of segregation also, aluminum foil, glass, PET, PP. There are huge challenges. So in time to come, we have to sort out all the challenges and handle and find solutions, amicable solutions. Ajay, can we go to the fourth solution where the circular economy? Yeah, this is the circular economy, what we are talking about, where it's the brand owners or they collect back the waste, and the packaging waste is collected from municipal solid waste, industrial packaging waste, organized retail, unorganized, and household kabariwala. The packaging waste is collected. They are sent to incineration. Some of them, they are sent to landfill. The most desirable is there. Some of the packaging waste are reused, like some bottles are reused, and some of them are recycled, made into granules again, and used for reconverted products like packaging products, packaged products. So this is what we are talking of circular economy, where we are able to have a sustainable model where we are able to get the packaging to be recycled and reused time and again. As you must be aware, the plastic bottle, PET bottle, is the most recycled product globally because it has some economic value and it is 99% pure. That is the reason why it is most recycled. It is grinded into fluff and then granule, and then again it is extruded to make the preforms and then blown into bottles. Almost, according to some data, 93% of all the plastic bottle which is collected is recycled. In India, global average is 38% of plastic bottles are being recycled. So if we are able to, there is a concept that plastic is a menace for environment. Here, in case of plastic bottle, it is not a menace, but it is one of the most recycled product, and it is sustainable for long run. Then let's therefore we can safely say circular economy offers the best solution to plastic pollution problem. Recycling forms the critical part of circular economy. India, where we have a very less very crude infrastructure and attitude of collecting waste, and or we do not have awareness about how to handle waste. We do not have proper infrastructure. So it is becoming a great problem in India. India per capita plastic consumption is very low, 8 to 10 kg per capita, whereas global in developed countries it is around 50 kg. Still, there the handling of waste is little better because they have segregated dustbins where the recycled food waste, others are put in different container which goes into recycling. So the food and beverage packaging has to be collected well and recycled. Now coming to the economic aspect of collecting waste. Why the flexible packaging is not collected largely in India? Because the pouches are very small. The economic value of the pouches are very low. It is not economically viable to collect and recycle because there are problems associated with that. In what happens, the cost of collection and recycling remains almost stagnant, whereas the cost of polymer keeps deviating. At times, the cost of collection and recycling becomes at par with the virgin polymer. So government has to come in between or has to subsidize the recycled polymers so that recycling becomes viable or it is rewarded. Until unless there is a proper mechanism of giving incentive for recycling or recycled polymer, there cannot be a successful circular economy in long run. Ajay, can we have the expert committee? So there was an expert committee set up by Ministry of Forest, Environment and Climate Change, which came out with certain recommendation. The first recommendation was that they recommended to estimate quantity and character of plastic waste so that they can take appropriate decision on that. Second recommendation was policy of plastic. There is no policy of plastic in packaging in India, because packaging as such does not come under any industry. We have a diverse ministries: Ministry of Environment, Forest Change, Ministry of Food Processing, Ministry of Food, Ministry of Commerce, Ministry of Finance. So it is there has not been any clear-cut guideline on policy of packaging. In time to come, we are hoping that there will be a proper guideline on policy of packaging so that the environment-friendly or green packaging is given prominence or given impetus and subsidized. Because as you will read in one of the article which I wrote long back in 2011, the green packaging is going to be costly. Who will bear the cost of that green packaging? Will the consumer pay? Will the government pay? Or will the brand owner have to consume? That is the dilemma we are facing. The third committee recommendation is to promote recycling. So again, we discussed that recycling is not a viable, because at times the cost of collection is so high that the cost of pack is, the litters, they are so soiled, so dirty that the cost of segregation, cost of washing and cleaning and recycling is very high. So they allow them to be there in the landfill and do not pick it up. It is often not picked up by rag pickers even. Some of the costly products like bottles or some costly packaging is picked up and they have economic value, but some of the low economic value pouches, small, the pan masala pouches, these shampoo sachets, they are so small that they do not have any economic value. So they are left in the landfill, and that is why there's huge pollution and all the problems. Ajay, can we go to the last slide? And so to conclude, we need a comprehensive packaging policy with the aim to reuse, recycle. The government must subsidize, must have a clear-cut roadmap for recycling and circular economy. The reduction in carbon footprint must be encouraged. Carbon rating and other things must be, the industry which are carbon positive must be encouraged, must be incentivized. There must be consciousness to reduce the cost of packaging, cost thickness of packaging, or performance of packaging by coating and other barrier applications where the energy consumption while in packaging is reduced. So there is a less impact on global warming and climate change. The third point is packaging waste needs to be collected and recycled as per EPR under the provisions of Plastic Waste Management 2016, notified by Ministry of Environment and Forest Change. So the packaging waste must be recycled and reused and reduced. That is to get have better to have more environmentally friendly packaging in time to come. So Ajay, can we go to the last the article which I wrote? Let me briefly explain what is there. Yes, this one. No, single-use plastic. Again, this is. Let me just briefly tell you about what is as a packaging technologist, you will be facing three contradictory requirement: commercial requirement, environmental requirement, and food safety requirement. So you have to optimize which is more important. At times commercial requirement is more important, at times environmental or food safety. So as a packaging technologist, you will have to balance all the three to come at an optimum solution. All this article will be circulated to you, and you will go through, and if you have any question, you can get back to me anytime. Okay, so can we get back to question and answer? Are we okay with that? You are audible.
Yeah, hi sir, good evening. I'm Nikhil Dingra from IIP Delhi 34th batch. So sir, first of all, I would like to thank you on behalf of all 34th batch students for such a sagacious, or what I say is insightful session that you have shared with us just right now. So without, with your permission, sir, I would like to further proceed for Q&A round.
Yeah.
Can I start, sir?
Yes.
Yeah. So, sir, first question was asked by Apurv. So the question is, what are the parameters to be kept in mind when one wants to put an existing product of the linear economy to the circular economy?
Yeah. See, as I told you, recycling has to be at the core of circular economy. Any package, like what you were talking of, linear economy is packaging goes to landfill. So in case of circular economy, it has to come back to the life cycle of product. So recycling is the key word. If you have a key aspect you have to consider while designing a pack. from linear and circular economy.
Okay, okay, sir. So the second question is, how can extruded films, co-extruded films, or tubes contribute to the circular economy? That is asked by Dia.
Okay. See, co-extruded film, co-extruded film, there are many co-extruded film, like they can be multi-layered with nylon and other things. So if it is mono-layer, it can be recycled easily. If there is multi-layer co-extruded, then there will be difficulties recycling. Today, that is the reason why we are talking of monomaterial, where if barrier parameters are required, we are able to achieve barrier by coating. So we are able to eliminate a layer of nylon or layer of aluminium foil in case of extrusion lamination, or we are able to have a monomaterial with the same barrier properties as before. So am I clear with this? Nikhil, is it okay?
Yeah, okay, sir. So I'll
Okay.
proceed with the third question.
Yeah.
Third question is asked by Siddhi. The question is, how can we inculcate circular economy in pharmaceutical packaging?
Pharmaceutical packaging is a very vast area. So for each product, you have to design a recyclable and reusable packaging. Like you have to get into maybe craft paper. You may have to get to polyethylene laminate instead of PET polylaminate, so that if you are going for a PEP laminate or monomaterial structure, you will have better recycling efficiency. Similarly, if you have to change from multi-layer structure to monolayer or same family structure like BOPP and P laminate, BOPP, CPP laminate, or CPP laminate. All that are the desired combination for pharmaceutical packaging. And of course, the coating and other advancement in polymer will help you to achieve the similar kind of barrier properties required for pharmaceutical. Am I okay with that?
Yeah, okay, sir. So we'll further proceed to another question that is asked by Shovik. So do you think WPO and APF will have also a big part to play for making and implementing the guidelines you mentioned with the authorities in India?
See, WPO and Asian Packaging Federation, APF, does not work with the government. They work with some IAP or some local bodies like Asian Packaging Federation, and WPO also works with another packaging institute which is located in Nerul. So if WPO and APF has to influence the packaging policy of India, they have to work with the government, and government does not work with them, so it is not possible they can influence the packaging policy in India.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay.
So the next question is from Shivesh. The question is, do all PROs consider only PCR, that post-consumer recyclable waste, or they also collect industrial waste?
Can you repeat once again? I did not.
Oh, yeah, sure, sir, sure.
Yeah.
Do all PROs consider only PCR, post-consumer recyclable waste, or they also collect industrial waste?
PROs means what? What is that? PROs?
So he hasn't mentioned any full form, but
Yes, please explain your question.
Yeah. So see, I don't now there is post-consumer waste is being collected by municipal bodies. As on what is happening in India, they are not collected by any other. Some NGOs and some other people are also involved in collecting. There is no government sponsored initiative as on today. So industrial waste, as per my understanding, is being collected by kabaris and some recycler on their individual capacity, some NGOs or some other. So I did not get the correct perspective of that question. But anyway, as on today, there is no organized mechanism. There is only one mechanism, that is municipality, which collects the post-consumer waste, and that is given to recycler, and there are some dedicated recycler or waste management bodies are there in various cities, like you have some in Delhi, some in Mumbai, some in Ludhiana, some in Indore. The waste management bodies, they waste to energy, waste to some of the waste goes to cement kiln, where it is waste is burnt to generate energy, and it is used as a heat energy for baking cement. So am I okay with that? Is it?
Yeah, sure, sir. So, sir, another question is again from Shivesh. In India, what is the most widely used process to treat MLPs in circular economy scenario?
Most widely?
Most widely used process to treat MLPs, multi-layer plastics, in circular economic scenario.
As I said, the multi-layer structure must be of the same family, so that it can be easily recycled, or it is the multi-layer structured or monomaterial. So if the multi-layer structure is of the same family, like polyolefin, BOPP, LDP, BOPP, CPP, they can be recycled. Similarly, reverse printed PET laminated to heat sealable PET can be recycled. Similarly, this BOPP laminate, BOPP reverse printed, BOPP metallized heat sealable laminate can be recycled. So all this multi-layer structured can be recycled. This is desirable.
Okay, so I would like to add one more question from my side also, sir.
Okay.
Sir, recently I've heard about these structures, PET structure. These are not from same family, and they do have a great range in between their melting points also. So if
Yes.
a recycler wants to recycle a structure which is of PET and PE, so what would he do exactly? Apart from incineration,
he cannot recycle it. He can use it. One is pyrolysis, another is generating heat, and other. It cannot be made into granule once again.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, sir, these, I've get in contact with some of the recyclers like Shakti Plastic and some others also. They informed me this thing that they are actually recycling, not actually recycling, they processing these PET, PE and other different, these MLPs of different families and making benches and chairs and stools out of these. So how are they actually achieving this thing? Can you throw some light on this topic, sir?
See, that is some of them are possible. The recycling and reusing is different. Here, what they are able to melt it and make some composite structure which can be used like a road and all that. It is happening. Mr. Gadkari is talking about building a road of plastic waste and generating energy out of plastic waste also. So it is possible to, if you are able to melt at some higher than the melting point of a PET, you will be able to recycle it.
Okay.
You
okay.
You got my You got the point. The melting point of one of the structure, you have to achieve a higher melting point than one of the structure. Until unless you don't achieve that higher melting point than one of the structure, you will not be able to melt that.
Okay, okay, sir.
Yeah.
So another question is from Santosh. The question is there any insight or data available for the amount of polymer in MLP which can be recycled or not? If recycled, then are they useful for injection or their processing process?
As I told you, the most recycled is APET. Can you, are you talking on the same, are we on the same page? He wants to know which is the most recycled polymer and can be used in injection molding.
Can I repeat the question once again, sir?
Please repeat.
Yeah. So the question is like, is there any insight or data available for the amount of polymer in MLP which can be recycled or not? If recycled, then are they useful for injection or their processing?
MLP.
Yeah, multilayer plastics. Multilayer plastics, yes.
Multilayer plastic again, if multilayer plastic, if they are of the same family, they can be recycled and again they can be reused. Like all this structure we discussed, they can be, and to the extent of 10 to 15% or 20%, the polymers can be used in the along with virgin to produce the same article once again. So the in the multi-layer plastic, it has to be from the same family. If you are not having from the same family, it will be very difficult. You understand all the rheological properties of the polymers are different, so they will not be homogeneous structure. It cannot be used. So it has to have from the same family to recycle and reused in injection molding.
Okay, okay, sir. So moving on to the next question, sir. It's asked by Harsha. How recycling of the bottles and caps is carried out because both are of different material and processing techniques?
Yeah, if you see the flow diagram of bottle recycling, what happens? The bottle comes in the hopper. From there, after that, the caps are taken out. Cap is made of generally PP. It is taken out. Then the label is taken out. Then it is washed, and then it is grinded. And then after grinded, it is again washed and dried, and then it is made into polymer granules, granulation plant, and wash and the fluff. The grinded part is called fluff, and the granulation part from fluff, it is made into granules. So the PP caps are segregated or are taken out separately, and they are processed separately. The label, sometimes PVC string, sometimes this BOPP, caveated BOPP, sometimes other labels are taken out and recycled separately. Am I okay with the answer?
Yeah, yes, yes, sir. Thank you. So the next question is from Antim. As we all know, FMCG and some major companies are shifting towards recyclable structures. So how they are adding back to their package?
See, one such initiative I was told, Amcor is trying to get into metallized polyethylene and BOPP structure for some of the snack foods. In time to come, you will have BOPE, biaxially oriented polyethylene. You will have MDO, machine direction oriented polyethylene, cast polyethylene of high barrier. So all these things are catching the attention of brand owners. They are safe. They will be in time to come would like to shift to some of the structure which are able to give the similar kind of barrier, which are recyclable and reusable.
Okay, okay, sir. So next question is from Aragya. How to delaminate easily of multi-layered different type of material in flexible packaging and increase recyclability? Shall I repeat, sir?
Yeah, no, I got the answer. The cost of delamination is so high that it will be unviable to delaminate. It will be not viable, and it is not followed anywhere in the world. Like PET polyethylene and the three-layer structure cannot be delaminated economically, and therefore it is not economically viable.
Okay. So again, next question is from Antim again, sir. So what is the status of PCR content material consumption in the India, mainly in flexible packaging?
PCR content is very low. Only in case of some lower end application, like in case of I'm aware of plastic PET bottles. There are some huge applications because APET is 99% pure polymer, so it can be recycled and reused. Then you come to this PET bottle, again is recycled and made into POY, this polyester yarn and polyester granules from there, and there are many applications of low-end applications, like you have brooms. All the brooms, polyester brooms are being manufactured. The toothbrushes, some of the toothbrushes can be manufactured. Some of the carpet cleanings, and they are used in carpet at times. The polyester filament yarn, which is made from recycled PET bottles, they are used in carpet industries in a huge quantity. Then the pillow, all the pillow you have, this is made maybe made from recycled polymer of PET. Similarly, there are many recycled PP, recycled LD, recycled SDP available in the market. There are some small recycler which are doing all the recycling. The milk pouches is one of the largest recycled product, the recycled LD, which can be reused in various applications.
Okay, okay, sir. Yeah. So the next question is from Tejas. Question is multi-layer co-extruded film versus metallized multi-layer laminated films. Which is more sustainable approach when it comes to recycling, sir?
Of course, metallized is more sustainable because metallization is only hardly 0.003 to 0.005 micron. So it is a very insignificant amount of metal. It can be recycled along with the polymer, and there will be hardly any impact in recycling. And the end polymer we get, there won't be substantial change in properties of polymer. In case of multi-layer, like a nylon-based co-extruded multi-layer, it will be very difficult to recycle, because again, you know, the melting point of nylon is very high. In case of that is why the retort pouches, they are trying to shift from nylon-based structure to some polyethylene or CPP-based structure because of this recyclability problem.
Okay, sir. Okay. So there's one more question from Mohak. The question is, how do quality of recyclable stream will be affected by using single family polymers, for example CPP or LDP structure, in order to use that recyclate again in granule making?
See, if PP and LDP are there, then again you cannot again go back to making PP, CPP. you have to use that granule in some low-end application, injection molding or some shoe or some other application, because it is not, again, very pure polymer, because of the density of PP, density of LD are different, the melt flow index and other parameters are very different. So you cannot use in the same application, but some different low-end application you can definitely use. Is that the question or some different? What is the question?
Even I guess so. The same things that you have answered.
Yeah.
So if there is any, they will message me. Okay.
Okay.
So, so the next question is, what are the dynamics behind setting up a laminate converting plant from scratch?
Dynamics involved is you have to have at least 3-4 things. One is printing machine, one is lamination machine, one is slating machine, and then if you want to further go, pouching machine, which is if you are going to sell in pouches. So the printing dynamics involve, so you must have, when the dynamics involved is, these are the 3 main machines required. Then you got to have, if you want to further go for setting up inspection machine, if you want to really inspect the quality, then you must have a quality lab to test the quality of material. If you want to have, you must have all the quality parameter, machines, instruments to measure the quality, viscosity, and other parameters. And you must have all the utilities in place, boiler, compressor, and other things. All the utilities required. Then many other utilities like weighing balance, like forklift, all this material handling equipment, all are required. Am I able to answer this?
Yeah, so
Sure. That was very well.
Nikhil, just yeah, so are you sure? So this was my question, like what are the dynamics? So can you so these are like the typical parameters. Can you also throw light on the cost involved, like on a ballpark figure, like of setting up a laminate flexible converting plant?
See, cost involved today, if you are going for around 1000 mm grabber printing machine, it will cost around 50 lakh rupees. 40 to 50 lakh rupees is the cost of machine. Then if you go for lamination machine, it will be around 30 lakh rupees. Slating machine will be 5 to 10, approximately 10 lakh rupees. So with this is, you will require 1.5 crore minimum in plant and machinery. This is the ballpark figure. And then you require land and building, you require working capital. So add another 1.5 crore. You will require estimate of 3 crore rupees. Okay.
Yes, sir. Answers my question. Thank you, sir.
That is the lowest.
Yeah, sir, Nikhil this side. So I guess we're done with the questions.
I want that article on this green packaging to be read by each and everybody. That article is very well compiled, because it covers all the EPR and circular economy part, where all this, I want everybody should read, because it also covers the sustainable, the opening line you read, sustainable packaging can play a significant role in promoting sustainability in food production, supply, and consumption. sustainable packaging is the requirement. Any economy has to be sustainable, packaging has to be sustainable, family has to be sustainable. Everything, if it is sustainable, it has a long future. So food production, supply and consumption, there is a huge waste of food product, so the packaging has to grow. Packaging cannot be allowed to be stopped because of environmental problem, because if packaging is not done, it will cause more environmental problem than the packed product. That is the policy makers have to think about the importance of packaging is whole life cycle of product, like how much wastage it is generating if it is not packed. Packaging is hardly, at times it is 2 to 5% of the product. If 5% is causing environmental problem, think of 95%. So one has to, it is all given, the green dot scheme and other thing. The incentive has to be given to green packaging, to recycling, and to people who are going for innovative packaging. Packaging must be rewarded so that there is a proper or good packaging which is environment friendly. Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, would you like to say something about circular economy? Possibilities in flexible packaging is it's laminate, and laminates are not recycled properly or perfectly, as in case of say LDP or PET.
See,
So how the FMCGs who are producing laminates yes, sir.
Circular economy, the core at circular economy is recycling. Okay, so more and more recyclable packaging has to be brought in the packaging area, so that circular economy or sustainable packaging can be implemented. The problem in India is the cost of collection, cost of handling. Like if in metropolitan cities, it is slightly easy. You have RWA, you have good waste management system. You are able to collect. Think about villages where you do not have in a village, hardly 100 bottles can be collected in a day. So it does not make economic sense at collecting waste at village level. So the problem has to be handled. Some policy has to be designed for village, where some better incentive is given for collection and transportation, and because the bottle as such, the cost of transporting bottle from village to the another recycling station will be very high. Collecting waste from villages, and India is Indian people largely live in villages, so it is a major challenge to circular economy. That is why it is there is a very slow pace in implementing. Some state are able to, they come out with a policy that this is banned, thermocol is banned, carry bag is banned, and some state keep quiet because they understand there is a problem of there has to be a policy at national level, what is banned and what is allowed. So that is desirable. Of course, plastic bottle is the most recycled product in world. I have a data that 34% of PET bottles are recycled globally into fiber and tape. So industry-specific recycling mission has to be set up after calling industry expert. Like pharmaceutical industry, biomedical waste, how to handle biomedical waste and make it circular so that they can be reused to pack the product. Biomedical are hazardous also, how to handle those hazardous. Then there are some chemical waste which is which gets into polluting Ganga and other thing, that is also need to be recycled. So you have to have a industry specific solution for recycling for, as far as circular economy is required. Okay, so let's hope there is some sensible or some practical policy is there, some practical guideline is there for circular economy or recycling. Okay, there are a lot of there's even seminar, there were a lot of people, everybody understands this is a major problem, but what is the most practical solution, it is yet to be arrived at. So we are all working on this challenge, and in time to come we'll be able to find some solution. Okay.